and welcome back to my channel. So I thought I'd look back on 2019. January started with a sunny visit down to the south coast, and then a belated Christmas New Year's get together with old friends. The germs then got to me, and I was laid up in bed. And then being in bed for too long meant me may put my back out, but I did manage a Take That tribute act where my dance moves were done from a chair. February came and it was the snow. Every new year needs to have at least one snow day. We said goodbye to a member of staff. At the end of February, we had a belated Valentine's Day present to go and see Songs for Nobodies. February half term brought a wedding celebration, a day trip to Abingdon, and a day with my college friends to my favourite spa, Nirvana. February was also the time that we saw the first of my son's final shows. It was Zorro. March began with seeing the second of my son's shows. I always got confused with them. It was Zorro. This next one was called Zorba. And he played Zorba in this one, so he was the main lead. And considering that he had to do 2 shows within 2 weeks, I don't know how he did it. It was brilliant, and he was amazing in it. So I know he's mine. So, but you know, you're allowed to say that, aren't you? We went to see some friends who belong to Hatton Musical Theatre Society in their concert Back to Reality. We also went to see GSA do Shrek the Musical, because we are doing Shrek next year, and none of us knew it, so we wanted to see it. It was brilliant. So it got us all very excited. March ended with my husband having a severe haircut, all in the name of art. April was all about the show Copacabana. Lots of rehearsals, getting ready for it. The show was amazing. I mean, it ended with the leading man proposing to the leading lady on the final night. Both my husband and son had roles in this show, and I have to say it was brilliant. We spent some Easter holiday time down seeing family members. We also went to see the amazing musical Come From Away. And I went to Nirvana Spa with my friend Sue. At the end of April, I took part in the Upstage dance show at Camberley Theatre. Because of my back, I had missed so many rehearsals and wasn't really capable of dancing. So, but I did take the part of the Bird Woman. In May, we found out that we had been nominated for an award by NODA. We also had an open mic night where I sang a song about getting old and then forgot the words because that's what old people do. We watched an amateur performance of Thoroughly Modern Millie. Then we had an amazing weekend at a long-standing friend's daughter's wedding. In June, it was the NODA nominations award ceremony, and we were nominated for 2 awards, but we won 1. I had a fantastic college reunion. And a very hot but amazing gig on the green. I might have been seen with an umbrella on my head and my feet standing in a bucket of water. June time was also when I saw 2 more shows. The Pyjama Game, where my son was the lead, and by this time he had found out that he'd been offered his first professional job on a cruise ship, the Royal Caribbean Anthems of the Sea in We Will Rock You. He was excellent in the Pyjama Game and really enjoyed it. And whilst he was doing this, his girlfriend was also in Mac and Mabel, which we went to see.
Hey there, you with the stars in your eyes, love never made a
July, beginning of July was the emotional one because that's when my son went off and we had to say goodbye. It was very tricky. It was hard when my other son went, but he only went for 6 months, and in fact we saw him twice within that 6 months. My son this time is going for over 9 months. 10 days later it was his graduation, so we went to his graduation and I just took a photo of him. So I'm afraid the photo ended up being in all his graduation photos instead of him. End of July and 2 barbecues, one for work colleagues and another for our musical society, where on the particular day of the barbecue we celebrated Copacabana being nominated for 8 awards. August was the annual New Forest show. We went on our yearly holiday to Minorca with friends. We went to London to enjoy a cabaret called Duets with Friends. We also saw a second cabaret with friends called Songs at Sunset. My friend Sue and I had a lovely day down in Alresford, which I think there's a vlog of, and also I took her on a trip down memory lane. She'd done it for me one year. My son, meanwhile, met Brian May, shook his hand, and they saw Queen in concert, so he was very lucky. The bank holiday was scorching hot. We managed a yearly trip to the Wilton Big Car Boot Sale and had some fun in a family member's swimming pool. We went to see Fiddler on the Roof and bumped into some friends whilst we were there. September started with a solo trip to the theatre. I've never done that before, but decided that I wanted to see this. I'd read the books, and so I went to see The Secret Diary of Adrian Mole. Found the theatre cafe, and sat there and had a little something to eat. And I've been listening to the soundtrack several times ever since. In September, we said a very sad farewell to a good friend of ours who was taken far too soon. We found out that we went to the Swan Awards ceremony and Tops won 4 out of 5 awards that they've been put forward for, including the very prestigious Best Musical Award for Copacabana. In September, we went to a fundraising cabaret put on by friends in aid of cancer, and they managed to raise over £2,000. September finished with us going to see Waitress. I loved this musical so much that I would happily see it again, and it has got my favourite song, She Used to Be Mine, in it, which I could listen to on repeat, but really, really enjoyed it.
But she lies.
October started off with our fundraising cabaret, Best of British. Miss Photogenic here was dressed up as usual, and was part of Ab Fab, and spent most of her time looking drunk. And then she changed to be Ginger Spice. I'm not sure that I really spiced up the life, but the Union Jack dress was there, the white leggings. They hid a multitude of sins, thank goodness. October half term was a chance for me to go, I went to an ABBA tribute night. Managed to lose my glasses, but it did push me to go to the opticians, which I hadn't done for 6 years. Slap hand. As well as the ABBA tribute night, my friend Sue and I took a trip to Henley. We also went to see our friends at Hatton perform in a murder mystery musical called Curtains. November was quite a quiet month. Probably the biggest thing was when we went to see Another Day to London with a friend to see Everybody's Talking About Jamie. December was our Christmassy day in London. And of course, our school panto. This year I gave up the panto dame role and became somebody evil and made children cry. We had a lovely Christmas works do, and then we saw both sides of the family over Christmas to have a good old celebration. And we even managed to FaceTime. My son, he sent us over them singing in their Christmas cabaret.
Did you know that your baby boy would save our sons and daughters?
Mary, did you know?
We end 2019 with a celebration with friends. So, as we say goodbye to 2019. Hello, 2020.